St. Patrick's. So now you got in my head. You got in my head. I was trying to go ahead and go with it one more time, but hey, what you gonna do?
I'm self-conscious.
Now I'm feeling all kinds of self-conscious. I'm in my own head, but that's okay. We're here to talk about St. Patrick's Day. It is St. Patrick's Day as we record this Tuesday, March 17th, and it is a holiday like no other, folks. It is a holiday for celebration for the great island of Ireland as they celebrate St. Patrick, who brought Catholicism and took all the snakes off of the island of Ireland. That's my favorite part of the whole story. Because then everyone's like, we didn't have snakes. Right. See?
Now that I'm here.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That's like a conversation with Barney Stinson, dude. It just reminds me of something like he would say.
So it is in reality, it actually is a very special holiday for the people of Ireland. It's a religious holiday. So on the surface, you would think you gotta have some respect for what's going on, right? You head over to your local church, you pay respects, you pay homage to the great St. Patrick. And many moons ago, a tradition was started that not only happens still to this day in Ireland, but now happens apparently all around the world. It happens. Apparently, it originated here in New York, but Ireland does it. Japan does it. There's a whole lot of countries that partake in the celebration in the form of a parade, the St. Patrick's Day parade. I know I've accidentally bumped into it a few times. I don't do parades. Sorry if it wasn't on purpose. I'm not a big fan of standing on the side of the street as other people walk in front of me. It doesn't sound like a very interesting or exciting activity. But St. Patrick's Day is taking place. And I want to talk more specifically, that's why I wrote it here, the reputation of St. Patrick's Day. Because as we said, alcohol.
There it is. And we're done. Next segment.
As the old Archer joke once said, here is a potato. Do you want me to peel it and mash it for you, or let it ferment so you can drink it later? This is what it's actually come down to here. Now, when I first heard that the parade had originated here, I thought to myself, what a positive contribution, right? You bring all of the veterans, you bring all of the individuals of high position, you march them down the street, you give the great citizens of the city a chance to applaud and pay homage and pay their respects to these individuals while paying respects to the great St. Patrick up there in the sky, right? Who passed away on March 17th, the year 491, right? Just an amazing guy. But that's where the contributions in the positive category come to a complete fucking end, because I'm going to go ahead and assume that it's also New York's fault that this holiday has also now been attached to the most insane activity that I've ever seen with my own two eyes, and that's the invention of the pub crawl. Just bar to bar to bar, with the caveat that the most impressive pub crawls are the ones who can survive as many pubs or as many bars as humanly possible. You've all seen it, folks. The Kiss Me I'm Irish shirts while they lay passed out on the curb. It's just covered in urine and sweat and shame throughout the course of the evening. The women with the face paint of the shamrocks and the doilies on their heads and the mini skirts. Well, actually, I like the mini skirts. Mini skirts. I'll co-sign the mini skirts. You'll have that one. But Dave, have you had the privilege and or the honor of enjoying the fun side of the St. Patrick's Day holiday?
No, actually, now that I think about it, I don't really think I ever did. Maybe like once I was at a friend's house. You know what I mean? That it just so happened to be that day. I was never a bar person. So I never really went out of my way for it. But I've had a beer from time to time on that day accidentally. Kind of like you in parades. It was me with actually like drinking on that day. It just kind of happens. But yeah, nothing crazy. I never really went out of my way to celebrate or anything like that. So
yeah, I mentioned earlier. I think I misspoke. I said Catholicism earlier. It wasn't Catholicism. It was Christianity that he brought, and I got the year of his death wrong too. It wasn't 491. It was 461. You see how I got that number kind of like
disrespect, dude.
upside down. Okay?
Disrespectful.
The funniest, not funny. I found it hilarious. One of my favorite parts about the origins of St. Patrick himself is that he's not even from Ireland. I thought that was the greatest because it's not as weird as you would think. When you would go, oh, he was born in Britain, he's British, and he brought Christianity to Ireland, and the Irish celebrate him for it. That doesn't sound all that crazy, especially considering that up until a few years ago, for many, many moons, here in the United States, we had Christopher Columbus Day, and that motherfucker had never stepped foot on this landmass a day in his goddamn life. So at least St. Patrick has been to fucking Ireland. That's a bonus. That's cool. So that's a bonus for him. And he brought Christianity there. It started off as a religious feast. All right. They used to have a feast over in the 9th and 10th century to honor Ireland's patron saint. And it's been a tradition that continues all the way until today. So right now, as we speak, it's 6:40 in the afternoon. I got to safely assume that inside my home right now is the safest fucking place to be. Because right now, if I go to I have a bar not too far.
So,
actually, I have an Irish bar not too far from my home right now. 1 block over, Murphy's. I'm pretty sure right now, Murphy's. You know it's an Irish bar. You just know it. It screams it. Anything should, and the only other name I would have accepted is like a McDonough or something. That would have been another. That would have been another one that I would have taken. But you can hear it. This is the inspiration of what we call here in New York. You ever seen not Secret Santa, the Santa, when everyone dresses up, what is it called again? When they dress up like Santa Claus for Christmas and they all start getting drunk. There's a name for it. Hold on. Santa Con? No. I'm having a hard time pulling it up. It's one of those things. Somebody in the comments will correct me. But there's like when everyone in the city starts dressing up like a form of Santa, and they do the same thing. They go bar to bar to bar to bar, club to club to club to club, and they're all flooding. Right now, the train system is just flooded with green. There's just green all over the goddamn place. I think Chicago, they dye the river green.
That's crazy.
I think that's what it is. Let me see. Green River. Yeah. St. Patrick's. There you go. Is that Chicago? Yep, Chicago. They did it again. Here. Let me show you guys what we're talking about here. They do this shit every goddamn year. Right here. Boom. Look at that. Ah! It's green. Look, they're pouring it in there, dude. They're throwing the green in there.
That is cool.
Funny. That's funny. I have a picture somewhere of me with a green Colt 45 because I was headed to a friend's house and I cracked them open and I put little green dye in there so it'll turn green. I swear to God, that was the only thing I put in those 40s. And then I tied it back up like that, brought the 40s with me, and it was a good time to have my all. Not only were we buzzed, but our tongues were green too. So it was nice. It was St. Patrick's.
There you go. See, that's how you celebrate.
Is there gift giving? Do they give gifts for St. Patrick's Day?
I don't think so, but I would assume that a lot of babies are made on St. Patty's Day.
Why is that the assumption?
And that's a gift, right?
Yeah, that's the gift that keeps on giving. I
assume when you get hammered, gotta touch some ass, right? No, I don't know. Maybe I'm assuming too much right now.
Jesus. Well, we're in a
little bit. I don't want to make the room awkward here.
I feel some of you
Am I the
pulling away
only
right
one that
now.
likes to touch ass? You know what? Let me, disregard my last comment. Forget it.
I start getting buzzed. I start grabbing cheeks. So that's what
touching
happens.
ass. Yeah, where's the
Well,
ass at?
Well, at least you're grabbing ass. The leader of our country is grabbing pussy.
That's a little too hardcore, man. It's like I'll do some weed, but I'm not really into cocaine. You know what I mean? Like that shit's a little too hard for me. I'll just stick with some ass. I'm good.
So, wow, that's some good weed. You want some cocaine? No, I'll just stick with the weed.
I'll stick with the weed, sir.
It's like you want this Mountain Dew Baja Blast? No, I'll just drink my water. Thank you.
No, wait, hold on a second now. We can do some Baja Blast.
Some Baja Blast. Anyway, so yes, St. Patrick brought Christianity to the island. It's a religious holiday. It is something of importance on the Isle of Ireland. But here in the States, as per the usual, we take something that originally is a really good idea and is traditionally fun and just completely wipe our asses with it. I'm pretty sure in a little bit when I head over to the store, because I got to go to the store as soon as this is over, I'm just going to hear it. Just every version of Hornswoggle's theme music playing over and over and over and over again.
As you should.
A co-worker of mine came to work with a shillelagh.
Hell yeah.
Hold on. He's Jewish.
So what, dude?
That's not appropriation? Is he good? Is he all right?
No, we're celebrating now. If he did that shit on a random ass Tuesday in September.
Yeah, where? Look at my shillelagh.
now we got to bring him to HR. But now's the time to do it.
Fair enough.
Now's the time. Get your shit off now before it gets weird.
How can we do? He also, now that I think about it, as a Jewish person, he also partakes in Christmas. So I don't know what his standards are, really. To be honest with you, I've never even heard
him in a bucket. Maybe he's just living his life, dude.
Maybe
he's just living his fucking life.
Well, maybe I got a problem with the way he lives his life. How about that?
Stop trying to put him in a box. He's out here living free.
I live in America.
Everything.
I live in America, and in America, not only do I get to do what I want to do, but I get to tell you what it is I want you to do. That's how this country works.
That's fair. That is fair. Yes.
That's how that goes.
That is wrong, but also true.
So everybody be safe out there. Enjoy your St. Patrick's Day. And we're moving on to the next thing.
Touch some ass.
Touch some ass.